Sagrika from Republish. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, myself, architect Deepika Shukla, and just
And myself,
nothing
Srajati
new. Just
Tiwari.
Could you guys tell us a little bit more about yourself?
okay. So we both are from Kanpur city, and we graduated from same university, that is Bundelkhand University. We graduated from there, and currently she's pursuing her PhD, and I am looking for master's admissions. And meanwhile, we are also into research work, and this book is result of our collaborated work.
Okay, could
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
yeah, Sujati, could you please tell us something about your book?
Okay, so to understand how we came to this book is how our architecture journey went. So in these 5 years of architecture, we kind of observed spaces, some random spaces, talking to each other and overthinking, and how architecture students are basically. They are like curious minds and talking just from crash to actually making sense. So this book is a journey from thinking about crash and making some sense. And then when we interacted with our faculties about that, like having some idea and going to them again and again and thinking how it can be articulated. So that's how this book came into place. And this book is about the journey. This book is about how humans perceive spaces and how architecture influenced their lives. Because in our society, we kind of neglect all of that. So I think this is the start where we can encourage that. Yeah.
Deepika, any inputs on this?
Yeah, she's right. This is all about how we connect ourselves or from spaces. Memories plays major role in this. Like wherever you visit, as first of her, Rajdi's first paper was about memory in architecture. So she just explored Jaipur and the scenario and whatever she experienced there, how memories helps us interact with the same space. Unlike for example, when we go somewhere, we do remember things, but uh, as far as we uh, try to recall, all we just recall is how we felt when we visited there lastly, how we exactly felt. That's what memory in architecture is about.
So, this actually sounds very interesting. But what I was thinking about is that there are many different ways of writing these things. Like there's blogs, there's websites, something like that. Book writing is something which is, very time taking. So why
Mhm.
book writing? Why did you guys decide on specifically book writing for this?
First of all, we already had so many research publications. So yes, next step is book, so that we can explain in mostly like expansive way. As in research paper, there's limitation of words, right? In book, we can explain in n number of ways. Also, there are volumes we can publish next and next. Ki, haan, okay, what we learned next, what we explored next.
And I
So
think I want to add
yeah,
here,
yeah,
like,
please.
I really want to give this credit to her because she was the
Mhm.
one, like, I know I was fully packed with the schedule and everything, research paper, articles, and everything. My master's journey was going in that. But she was like, no, we have to write a book. We keep talking, we keep writing. So she told me that we just have to sort it out. And within a night, it turned up. And I think good things happen like that. You just get that kind of energy, and we made it.
Yes, and this is really good. So, how do you guys, plan this, like the writing process? Because, individually it's much more easier, I would say. It's a little complex when two people are doing it together. So, how do you guys, plan the schedules, do the writing process? Well, how does it go?
Maybe our like-minded helped in this. We already worked in papers, therefore the understanding was a little bit easier for us. And also, we spent almost 4 years together uh, while
Yeah,
we
you
were
must.
doing that
Yeah.
bachelor's. Exactly. Then the thoughts were almost likewise. So wherever she went for internship or for masters, we were always on call and discussing the scenarios, what's going and how the future can affect. We are also connected with the international international what we can say organization, Climate Solution International. Therefore, we have to explore the architecture in a bigger way, as in an international level. So our discussion is always about sustainable and these all, how we can connect all such spaces, and so that we can understand as an architect and other layman, those are not from the same field, they can also get our point. So that's it.
Yeah.
Over to her.
Like, Yeah, I think just a small example, like for example, in my home itself, if I ask my dad, we'll put this plant, and then he will tell, no, mosquitoes will come, this, that. Basically, they won't encourage all of that. But while exploring, because I've done my master's in South India and I've done my internship in Jaipur, while exploring various places, I understood that architecture is there. It's just that we have to be little bit more open to that. So
Yeah.
I think that is the journey which we as architects can only make that easier. So I think the
Right.
main motto about writing a book was to make sure that it starts with our home, that we convince our parents, okay, no, this is the plant, we can do that. And yes, it is possible to make us things not in a luxurious, but in a balanced way, like bring sustainability into that, bring climate resilient into that. So that's it.
Yeah, that's actually a wonderful thought. Also, because I feel like in general in our country, we do not have that much of knowledge in this area. And I feel that architecture is something that is very alien to us, right?
True, true.
So we really need
Right.
to have some kind of awareness on
Spread
this.
awareness. Right.
Yeah.
We both are
So,
working on the same thing.
yeah, that's a
So
wonderful
whatever
thing.
ways. Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to ask, coming to the writing process, what would you say is the most easiest thing for both of you to do? I mean, you can obviously answer individually. And what is the hardest part of writing something so complex, but also so, you guys are so in sync with each other?
Okay, so for me, I think thinking process is easy because writing is 90% thinking. If I can think, I can sort things in my mind, the writing is next step just.
Yeah.
So, but the hardest thing is writing again, because meanwhile, when we think, there is endless there are endless thoughts going on. But when it came to writing, that's not easier to collect them together and write them in a step-wise process. So, in writing things, she helped me. In thinking, we just do this all together.
What
Over to our
So I
ma'am.
think
about
yeah. So what I feel is, obviously, as she mentioned, the easiest part is to think about the endless spaces.
Yeah.
But I think the most tricky part or most difficult part is to ensure that what we write must connect with the people outside there. Because over time we have realized I might be thinking something really grand, really big, or but I think that's the issue that I face. Like I have to think about the other's perspective, so I have to put myself in others' shoes and then understand and then write it. So I think that's a bit tricky, but the process is enjoyable, so we do that. Yeah.
Yeah, very well said. Because if the readers cannot relate to what is being written in the book, of course, they're not going to go ahead and, read and understand and everything like that. Okay. So any plans on writing another book? Maybe together,
Yes, we are working
maybe
on the one.
tell us something about it.
Uh, Currently, we are targeting her thesis topic. She will explain the next.
So I think the work which I did for around 5 to 6 months of my thesis, it is related to how urban physics deals with climate. So I am working on that. We'll surely make it together. We'll wind up that book soon. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I'm very curious to know how did you guys, find this interest in architecture? Because this is such an interesting topic to me. Could you guys please tell us?
As in architecture, you want to know more about
Yeah, yeah,
architecture.
yeah. And how
Okay,
did you guys get
so
so, into it? Like, I know there are obviously many more different topics to focus on, but you guys have
why
chosen
we chose
architecture
architecture?
in your education,
Yes.
yeah, in your education field as well as in the book. So I wanted to know what exactly intrigues you guys the most about architecture.
So choosing book is completely like awareness. Spreading awareness was our first motto, because more we write, people will read and will connect. And why we chose architecture is maybe because of it is a blend of creativity and strength. So we want to build, but we want to build creatively. As a civil engineer, we build. There is no
Okay.
creativity, there is no decoration, beautification. But in architecture, we let people know how they should uh, survive in a society, or we can mold people as per our architecture. For example, uh, currently she did urban planning. So therefore, when we design our city, so we ask citizens to behave the way. As in, if there is road, people will move on the road only. They won't get alongside. So designing helps us guide people, tell them ki, how they should behave, how they should perform, how they can change their living as well. Currently, I am targeting my thesis, research work on inclusive architecture. So, inclusive architecture is all about how we can include people of each group, gender, or if they're physically impaired, or whether they are some kind of other beings as in animals, birds. Currently, we have came across houses they're having barbed wires. Uh, because of that, most of the animals got injured.
Yes.
So, in my perspective, I don't think this world is just meant for humans, right? We all are equally responsible for this earth. We all are equally participated. Therefore, this should be meant for
And
all of us. So, my inclusion,
I feel that there is something huge lacking in the fact that we do not make, I don't know how to explain this in the architectural language, but there are so many
exactly,
things that are lacking in this in perspective of, like, physically impaired people. There
right.
are so many areas that they
Exactly.
cannot
In
go
India,
to.
there are so many design faults we came across. Even if they provide ramp, that's very odd in dimensions and manners. Like, it is not usable.
Yes,
But we just
and you
can't.
cannot
All we
provide
can do is,
wheelchairs everywhere, and they can't
uh,
walk because these are so, badly worked upon.
exactly. Exactly. The ramp is too high. They just can't even use it. And in railway stations, mostly they provide tactiles. Tactiles paths are those through which they can identify. I mean, by touch, they can feel and walk along the way. Mostly we can see around metro stations. आपने देखा होगा रेड एंड येलो कलर के टाइल्स होते हैं. सो
Hmm.
मोस्टली जो हमारा बेसिक आर्किटेक्चर है, कोई भी कमर्शियल बिल्डिंग है, कोई भी government building hai, you won't able to get that. I mean, I don't know what they think that physically impaired people are not going to use mall or building.
Yeah, and this is also very bad because it also hampers them mentally because they are like, okay, हम यहाँ नहीं जा
Right,
सकते, हम
Yeah,
वहाँ नहीं कर सकते.
definitely.
exactly.
हाँ.
हाँ,
Correct, correct. It
if
creates
you're
a barrier.
calling them,
Yes.
exactly. So my
Like,
first paper is on inclusive, and currently I'm working on how we can include other beings as well.
that's
Yes,
actually
that's
a good. Um, Srajati, what are your inputs on this? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, so basically, I think she mentioned it properly, the inclusive architecture, the importance of inclusive architecture. As I've been traveling a lot, I realized that yes, India needs proper architecture system. We need real measures and implementation, not just in reports or smart city mission. Because I
it.
worked in smart city mission, I know we have such an enlargement of vision, goals, but when it comes to implementation, that has to be checked. And yeah,
Yes.
and I think as youngsters, we can contribute to that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really hope, you guys and, more people like you can make a change into this because this is something really important and it is not being, highlighted enough in our daily day-to-day lives. My last
Yeah.
question to both of you would be, what do you want your readers to take from this book? What message specifically would you want your readers to take from this book?
For me, all I just want that laymen or common people get some insights about architecture and how their emotions are connected to it. Because if we talk in technical words, people just try to avoid. Oh my God, this architecture is something alien thing. I mean, they won't get it easier. So first topic we chose is architecture works with memory, so that maybe people can try to connect or they just get some at least some insights possible. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. So what I feel is mainly the people who read this book, they will get that message for sure that how essential it is to be uh, a thoughtful person overall not like you have to be in thoughtful process. If I move my sofa this side of the room, I'll feel better, or the window will be open, how will I
Right.
feel? So that questioning inside needs to be encouraged a bit more, because I think basically if I consider India as a value system, we were always, when we talk about vernacular architecture, we have read that how we were inculcated into open spaces so so embeddedly. But like with the time we are losing that. So I think this book will draw that insight inside a person, every individual whosoever will come across this book, that yes, how it is essential to go along with the nature as well and build a better environment.
Yes, I really, really want to, more people to read this and get awareness for this because this is something
Yeah.
interesting. However, again, something very underrated and not very highlighted in our general public.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this, really insightful session. It was great talking to both of you guys, and I really hope on reading another book from you guys soon.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. It was very nice talking to you. And yeah,
Same
hoping for
here.